didn't see you there. Would you guys like to set sail on this ocean of flavor with me? I'll be your captain. I'm Steve Harrington.
And I'm Collin.
And I'm Whitney, and this is Scoops Ahoy, a Stranger Things podcast where we go week by week, chapter by chapter, taking a look at every single episode of Stranger Things. We have now made it through all 4 seasons, all the episodes, and we are in the deep dark void as we wait for season 5. And this week we had a very special episode. Like, you remember they used to do those very special episodes?
Like the after school special.
Yes. This week we had several of our scoopers join us in a live discussion of anything and everything Stranger Things. And we brought up Game of Thrones and The Last of Us.
Oh, the new video game, the VR game that might be coming.
Beetlejuice 2. There's a lot to listen to. So check it out. It's coming right up.
Okay, so here we are. We're going to give this a shot and see how it goes. And if it works, we might figure it out. And for those of you who couldn't make it, I was thinking actually, as we were kind of setting up, if you could, maybe in your next email when we talk about whatever topic we're talking about, if you could send in your time zone, and we could just kind of get a sense of, if everybody is in Australia, then we will adjust this, that kind of thing. So if you could just let us know what your time zone is, just so, we can figure out if there is a time that works better for everybody. Because I know obviously Ellie's in Greece, Harriet's in Australia, they aren't able to join us. So just give us a sense, everybody, in your next email to us, or just a random email to us, what your time zone is, and we'll play around and see if we can figure it out. But so in the meantime, as we're going to try to figure that out in the weeks to come, let's just kind of get going. We have some emails that we can get going with, and we obviously have some people on the line with us. So Whitney, you want to just start right in?
Yeah, we'll dive into emails. It's different this week because usually we have a little, we have a topic, but this week it's just kind of whatever anyone wants to talk about. So if you think of something, you don't have to raise your hand, but if you want, there's something that sparks your memory and you want to talk about it, just let us know. So our first email is from Ryan, and this is her first time emailing in. She says, "Hi, it's Ryan. First time emailing in. I have no social media, so I wasn't able to see what this episode was about. I wonder if Ryan would have joined if she had known. I am so happy that y'all are posting today because it's my birthday. Well, happy birthday, Ryan. Also, I am not a boy. I know Ryan is a weird name for a girl, but I like it. I actually know another girl named Ryan, so it's not that weird. I'm so happy that I'm 12 now, and you posting on my birthday is like a birthday gift. Thank you so much. Love the show and your podcast. Also, I made these drawings. Thank you again, and please tell me what you think. And we will link to those on our social when those go out.
I have them pulled up. If you want to, we can. Try this whole screen sharing thing and see if it works. But there's some pretty crazy pictures here. So, everybody see that? So yeah, she did like 5 or 6 pictures, I think. So kind of the whole gang. You can kind of see Eddie there, and obviously everybody else. And then I think it's just great. It's just so fun. I mean, it's the kind of stuff that I would have done when I was in school. Obviously, it's
for sure.
Max, Friends Don't Lie, and 11.
Those are really good.
Yeah, they are really good, right? Yeah, she's our friend and she's crazy. Friends Don't Lie. Should I stay or should I go? Dart. It's really, really fun. And then obviously all these guys, and then the Upside Down, and there's more to life than stupid boys. She's our friend and she's crazy.
Has all their little
I left the country. Will the Wise. I love it. And this is the last one, kind of the
that one's really good.
The poster, yeah, it's really cool. So
Ryan, excellent job.
Yeah, good job, Brian.
Yeah.
Okay, so while we're here, we have our first of many. We have 3 people that couldn't make it that sent in either audio clips or video clips. So this is from Eve from the UK. So let's get her up here and see how this works.
Hey, Collin and Whitney, it's Eve here. Looking forward to this new episode. My question is, which characters do you think are too underrated or too overrated in the series. For example, Lucas getting less attention than he should and Steve getting more than he should. I'm in Greece at the minute, so hopefully I can find a way to listen/watch the podcast while I'm away. If not, I'll watch it as soon as I get back. Enjoy your summer, guys, and stay strange.
Okay.
Overrated. Gosh.
Yeah, while we're thinking, and feel free to think and we can talk
Yeah.
about it freely. So I looked up just out of curiosity, and BuzzFeed actually did a kind of survey about overrated and underrated characters. So people could go on BuzzFeed and vote. And so the results were, as far as most overrated character, Mike came in with 75%, 11 at 60%, Billy at 58%, and Eddie at 50%. So the most overrated in people's minds were Mike, 11, Billy, Eddie. Least overrated, or, just call them underrated, Dustin was the most underrated at 13, Robin at 18, with Joyce at 18, and then Hop at 20. So Mike, 11, Billy, Eddie as the worst, and Dustin, Robin, Joyce, Hop as the best. So if that provides fodder for discussion.
I actually think Barb is very overrated.
I do too. I had Barb
people love Barb, but Barb was no fun. Barb was a big
Wet
buzzkill.
blanket Barb.
Yes. Buzzkill Barb.
I think she was, she just kind of got latched onto because she, was the first to die, after the lab guy. So she kind of became like this cult figure without really earning anything. She was in 2 episodes really, and not, and only sporadically. It's not like she was like a lead or anything at that point.
I think she had like 11 lines total.
Something like that. Yeah.
Like it was crazy small, but she is a full-blown like mural in Australia somewhere. I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
I remember posting a link
her.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. I kind of think she's annoying that night. Like she doesn't want to go to the party, and she's just kind of, I don't know, like she acts like Nancy's mom, and
right.
She's just, I don't know, no fun. We don't like her. I don't like her.
Yeah. That was one thought I had. I had for underrated. I thought of Owens, who I love. And, I think he doesn't really get as much credit as he should, especially in the 4th season, getting her to the Nina project and getting her back with Brennan and that kind of thing. So, and I really like him. I love Paul Reiser too. So those were the 2 I thought of as overrated and underrated, were Barb and Owens.
I wonder if Owens is underrated because people are still unsure if he's good or bad.
Yeah, could be.
Like that's why they don't latch onto him.
Yeah.
But I agree. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Hey, we're ready. Sorry, were we supposed to not just chime in like crazy?
No, chime in. Yeah, do whatever you want. Yeah, forget about raised hands and stuff. Just start talking.
Who was your overrated?
Billy.
Billy.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't like Billy.
My most overrated is Eddie.
Oh, really?
I like Eddie just fine, but at the beginning of season 4, I did not like him, especially after the first episode and his whole blah in the cafeteria.
Oh,
it's like, settle down, Eddie.
Yeah, calm down, sir.
And my most underrated is Nancy. She's
Nancy's the most boring character.
no.
Who's your most underrated then?
Robin's good.
Robin is
Robin's
good.
very good. Yeah.
Yes.
I was actually surprised on that vote that she came in at 18%. I thought she would have been a little more unliked just because of season 4. Because I think season 3, if you've taken the poll after season 3, I think she would have been like right there with Dustin. And she is close. She's 18 to his 13. But I would have thought that she would have kind of, disintegrated a little bit, I guess, after season 4.
Did for me.
But yeah, she did for me too, obviously. Yeah. So
do you guys, Doug, Stefan, Ryan, Holly, anybody?
I did not like Barb at all. I don't know why. And then until I rewatched it, I did not like Eddie, or I didn't fall in love with Eddie like a lot of people did.
Yeah. I mean, Eddie exploded in popularity like crazy, which I like him, but he wasn't my favorite character in season 4.
No.
And now I go back to season 4, and I love Eddie. He gives a great performance, you know, in every way.
Yeah, I think you see his whole arc come about, and then you can kind of appreciate it more, you know, as you watch the whole season again. Yeah.
Okay.
Eddie's terrific, except he walks on the cafeteria table with his boots on. Like, come on, dude. People eat here. It's not cool.
That's a good point, Harry.
It is.
Otherwise, I love him.
Yeah. It's all about the hygiene. Yeah, absolutely.
Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on this topic, or do you want to go on to the next email?
I'm gonna
have two.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
I'm a Barb fan. Am I the only Barb fan here? I mean,
Well, yeah. I mean, we're not saying we hate or love. We're
no,
just
I
saying
know, but you're just saying
yes.
she's over whatever. But
Yeah.
I mean, she connected with audiences because she's the kind of person that people don't usually get to, you know, they don't get to see themselves on TV.
Right.
And she had like, you know, not that many lines. I heard a number like 32, maybe. I don't know how much it really was. I'm not counting. But she if this show had been on the CW, they would have cast some like skinny, pretty little model, and they would have put her hair back in a ponytail and put owlish glasses on her and try to say, oh, well, she's a nerd now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
But Barb with her mom jeans and the terrible hair and the whole thing, I mean, people really connected with her, which is why when she went, you know, it was such a big deal. And, you know, I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
can
I
see
think
that.
it's-
Certainly.
Changed my mind. I'm on board.
Oh, it's just that easy, huh?
Well, she's also Nancy's only female friend.
Which makes me question, like, why? Like, why didn't Nancy have any other friends? Because she was kind of, I guess, like studious, I guess is how they tried to portray her, but she wasn't the type of girl that would have been disliked in high school. You know what I mean? Unless there's something they weren't showing us.
Right.
Right.
It just didn't kind of make
Caden
sense.
just chimed in the chat. He said Barb had 25 lines. He Googled it. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Caden. Yeah.
But you probably boot me from the thing, but I'm going to say my most overrated character is Dustin. He's not bad. He's just not as funny as he's supposed to be.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of latch on to him. I mean, everybody's well versed in my history of trying to watch the show and not getting into it, and how angsty it was. And so finally I could latch on to Dustin because he was like a little breath of funny and happy. So I enjoy Dustin, but yes, I agree that he can be overrated. I mean, he's like, you know, the best thing since sliced bread and, you know, all this kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I can see that, obviously. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's almost too funny to be an outsider. I think.
Yeah.
I could see that. I guess his thing was the whole what is he? It's what is it? Clinocranial?
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Dysplasia.
Yes.
Yes.
Dysplasia. Yep.
Something. So okay. Anybody else have overrated, underrated characters? Oh, Holly.
I have two for underrated. I think Murray is pretty underrated because he is hilarious, and the scenes with Joyce just crack me up all the time, and I love them together. And then Argyle, I think he added like a nice element to season 4 and had some classic lines that crack me up every time. The whole "my dudes" thing.
Yes.
Me every time. And I don't think he gets very much credit for that aspect of what he
I was
played.
shocked that they didn't use him more because
exactly.
And he's that Eduardo Franco's a really good actor. Have you seen him in Booksmart?
Yeah.
He's really good. It's very it's a small role, but he's good in it. Like he's funny in it.
Although I thought it was funny because I was trolling Reddit like a week ago, and I just realized that we don't even know if Argyle's his first name or his last name, and if it is one or the other, what the other is. Like, is it Eddie Argyle? Is it Jimmy Argyle? Is it Argyle Franklin? You know, we don't know. Which is I'm like, oh yeah, we don't really know, I guess. Yeah.
Maybe he's like Prince or Cher.
Just one name.
Yes. Mononymous. Yeah.
I really hope they use Argyle a lot more in season 5.
Yeah, I wondered if he's going to be in it because they end up back in Hawkins and he was with them. So I kind of like, how's he going to get home?
Yeah, and I think the Duffers and the whole writing staff obviously have had a lot of time to marinate and see everybody's reactions to season 4 and what worked and what didn't work, and they can adjust and I'm sure have. So yeah.
Grand Theft Auto, though, didn't Argyle commit Grand Theft Auto by driving the company van across the country? How's he getting home without going home in handcuffs?
Well, I think probably the fact that like an interdimensional creature has descended upon, middle America, that they're going to have to look over that. I think they've got bigger fish to fry.
And also, it was the 80s. No one cared.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It wasn't as big of a deal.
All right, let's get back into emails.
Yeah.
No, I feel like everybody forgot about Argyle at one point. Like
kind of.
Like he was just like there, but like no one was like paying attention to him.
Yeah. And he could have done more, I felt like. They could have used him more.
Yeah, I wonder if like the writers were a little bit cautious and didn't know how he was going to go over, and and now they know.
Maybe.
So,
I honestly think the whole thing is that they just introduced so many new characters, and they just not luck out, but they get all these great actors, and it's just hard to give everybody, the screen time that the audience wants.
Right. Yeah.
So. Okay, our next email is from Jordan, and she says, "Hey guys, Jordan from Tennessee here, and I just wanted to write in and say I love how well the podcast is run, and that I am finishing my 5th listen through on all the episodes as I drive a lot for work. So it's my go-to comfort listen. Keep up the good work." That is a lot of hours listening to me and Collin.
It's more than I've listened to me and
ramble on. Yes. So thank you so much for that. But okay, next one's from my good buddy Harriet down in Australia. She says, "Hey, Collin and Whitney, I'm so excited for this live show. Unfortunately, I can't be there due to school today. But hey, maybe next time. My topic is a bit strange, pun so intended, but what do you think would have happened if one of the boys rode home with Will the night he vanished? It came to me a few nights ago, and now I can't help but wonder what would have happened. Would the Demogorgon kidnap them both? Would the story even be the same? Would it have had ripple effects into the seasons following? Anyway, that's my random idea for the show. Hi, everyone there. Love, Harriet." So that is a really good question, actually.
I think my initial thought when I had that is that if the Demogorgon, if Dustin had gone with him and they, stayed together instead of, kind of separating at the road there, that maybe the Demogorgon would have gotten one of them and the other one would have seen it and would have run. And then there would have been a little bit of, Chief Hopper, you won't believe what I just saw, but at least there would have been a witness and people wouldn't have spent half the season trying to figure out what was going on and where he went and if he disappeared. I don't know if they would believe that a monster alien thing came and got him, but
especially coming from a kid.
Yeah, but at least it would have, it would have changed, the first half of the season, obviously, and the dynamic that went into that probably.
Yeah, I've been a firm believer since the beginning that Will was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like that was my running theory. But now that the Duffers have said that like the final season is going to revolve around Will, I'm like, I don't think he has powers, but I don't know. I don't know why, but people
Will sort of has powers though. He can read Vecna's mind. He's connected to him. I think those are the only powers he's getting.
But I always thought that came from his time spent in the Upside Down. So that still doesn't explain why that Will was taken, because I was always like, oh, he just was riding home and the Demogorgon was like, hey, there's a.
Yeah, I think it was wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, he just happened to be driving by right next to the lab when the monster had just gotten out. So it was kind of, they intersected kind of right there. So
maybe his stay in the Upside Down somehow like quote unquote infected it, and that's why it's going to come back to revolve around Will.
Yeah,
because it all stopped, everything stopped moving.
Yeah,
on the day that Will
in 83
went missing. Oh, we've got another Hellfire Club.
I should have worn mine. I just have this one on, but I should have worn mine.
See, there's 3 of us now.
How's it going, Caden?
It's going good. How about you?
I have my shirt, but it's dirty in the laundry at the
That's okay. I have like 10 Stranger Things t-shirts, so the chances are I was wearing one of them tonight. So
Yeah.
all right. So the next email is from Rania. Says, hello, I'm listening to the 4th episode of season 3 on your podcast right now on Spotify. I have a theory about how Mrs. Driscoll became flayed. I think that the mind flayer goo that came from the exploded rat a few episodes back flayed her. Another theory of mine is that it summoned more goo to form a miniature mind flayer in her house, like the hospital monster that chases Nancy and Jonathan later on. Have a nice day, evening from Ronya. Ahoy.
That's a good theory. I like it. Because otherwise it doesn't make sense how she would have, unless she was just bitten by a rat, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we do see the rat explode and it kind of scurries, the goo kind of goes out and kind of scurries away. So yeah, that certainly makes sense.
Yeah, I like that theory. I liked Mrs. Driscoll too, though.
Yeah.
She was a good character.
I do. Underrated.
Indeed. She
Right.
actually has there's like a side quest in one of the games for Mrs. Driscoll.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like you have to go, I think you have to get gnomes and bring them back to her house or something. I can't remember, but there is like a side quest on one of the video games.
Okay. All right. So our next one, we have another person that sent in who couldn't be here. So this is our old friend Ellie in Greece. Everybody say hi to Ellie.
Hey, Collin and Whitney, and I guess all of the rest of the scoopers, as you call us. Well, I'm on holiday right now, and I couldn't join because the meeting would have been 3 a.m. here. But look at our view.
I'm jealous of Ellie.
That sounds like looks like and sounds like a great place to be right now. And it's the place whose name I butchered a couple episodes ago.
Yes.
That I'm probably going to try again, but yes.
Yes.
Okay, next email, Whitney, is from...
Oh, yeah. It's from Aiden. It says, hi, it's Aiden. Sorry I haven't written in for a while. I've had summer camps, but I'm currently rewatching season 1 of Stranger Things, and Steve wasn't even that big of a jerk. Besides the whole Nancy thing halfway through. If I was Steve, I probably would have broken Jonathan's camera too. If he took pictures of me and my friends and girlfriend, I would freak out. He took one of Nancy changing. Maybe I wouldn't have broken his camera and just his nose. Anyway, Mike and 11 are so cute together in season 1. I also am going to die if season 5 comes out after 2025. That's all. So see you later. I feel like it's definitely going to be late 2025 at this point.
Yeah, I think I'm hoping summer 2025, but we'll see. I mean, they kind of revolve around holidays, obviously Memorial Day and Halloween and 4th of July and stuff. So we'll kind of see how
What was this holiday? Oh, this one wasn't a holiday.
This one wasn't, but the first seasons were. Well, season 2 was Halloween, season 3 was 4th of July. So
was this one on Labor Day? Was season
Memorial Day?
Memorial Day.
Yeah,
it was right next to Memorial Day week.
Yeah.
It was Memorial Day weekend, and then
when it got released,
July.
it was it was released on Memorial Day, and then part 2 was 4th of July.
But it was I see what you're saying. It was set like during spring break.
And released, but yeah, both. So okay, next email is from Lilith. It says, hi, my name is Lilith. I missed the new episode, but here's my list of the top duos. Number 5, Will and Mike. Number 4, Dustin and Steve. Number 3, Robin and Steve. Number 2, Max and Elle. And number 1, Robin and Nancy, which I think won. That was no, not Robin and Nancy. Steve and Robin won, I think, right, when we did ours.
I can't remember.
Said, yeah, Lilith says, I ship Robin and Nancy, so I couldn't resist. I'm your weird little arter, Lilith the weirdo. P.S. I was also at the same Taylor Swift concert as Millie Bobby Brown, and I was so close to her. So
really,
that's kind of cool.
That is cool. Yes, it was those. We finally got tickets for the show next November in 2024. That's how far away it is.
Good Lord. We're on the wait list for Toronto, so we'll see. And then we'll have to fly to Toronto. So if we get them. So
yeah, I'm an idiot because they said, I don't know if anybody here likes Taylor Swift besides me and Colin and Holly, but you do, Doug. Oh, yes. And so they sent out like the codes, for this pre-sale for her. I didn't realize it was that big of a deal to get a code because JC and her dad both got codes and like to buy the tickets, but we just bought the 4 tickets like that we were allowed. I could have bought 8 and I only bought 4. And the tickets that we bought are already going for like $1,200 a piece and they're nosebleed.
That's just crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only listen to 1989 and my girls just constantly yell at me. They're like,
oh, that one's my favorite. That's my
like
It
favorite
is.
album.
I think it's
Perfect,
it's my
so.
favorite too. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. All right. Our next email is from Jason. He says, sorry, guys, I'm not caught up on the latest episode, so I have no idea what this week's is. Just wanted to drop
We
an
don't
email.
either, so that's okay.
We don't either. Just join us. Just wanted to drop an email because we just found out that Millie Bobby Brown is coming to the Fan Expo in Toronto this August. I'm so excited. I'm buying my photo op ticket this Friday before they sell out. Last year, Joseph Quinn sold out almost immediately, and they kept adding days and times. Millie is going to be there on Friday and Saturday. Here's the link, and then we'll share it on our socials. While I am here, my favorite duos are 5, Will and Mike, 4, 11 and Max, 3, Robin and Steve, 2, Joyce and Hopper, and number 1, Steve and Dustin. Thanks again for keeping it going in the deep, dark void. Your friend, Jason from Toronto. So, yeah. Oh, Stefan's mic stopped working, he said. And he said, so here's a question. What about the strike? Is there some kind of positive development? I actually heard that they were close to final negotiations. So I don't know if that is accurate. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know specifics.
Yeah, I had heard, I think it was mid last week that they were going to get back to the table toward the end of last week, but I have not checked today to where they are, but I think they're getting closer. I think there's progress. So yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, good Lord.
Good.
Shoot me now.
I know. I can't handle much longer.
Okay, our last one to write in was, or to send a clip in was Quinn. So let me share this.
Hey Collin and Whitney, it's Quinn. I didn't really know what to ask, and I didn't really have like anything about Stranger Things to talk about, but I just wanted to know like if you think Beetlejuice 2 is gonna be good, because yeah, I didn't really know what to ask, but yeah.
I have not kept up with a lot of the info on Beetlejuice 2. I know that Winona was tapped for it along with Jenna Ortega, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's in
playing.
it. Jenna's in it. Michael Keaton is back. Catherine O'Hara is back. Monica Bellucci is playing Beetlejuice's wife. And it was all filmed about 2 hours south of us down in Dorset, where the first one was filmed.
Cool.
Yeah. So they had to rebuild the house on the hill. They had to kind of tweak the town all over again and build the covered bridge again and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah.
It was about probably the last month and a half, and they just wrapped like 2 weeks ago down there. But yeah.
Kaden, have you seen the original Beetlejuice?
I have not.
It's a good one.
It is a good one.
Like it's bizarre, and I remember thinking it was bizarre when I was a kid and watched it when I was little.
Yeah.
We used to watch it all the time when we were little kids.
Yeah, but it's kind of dirty.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think little kids could watch it today.
Yeah.
Like, it's got a lot, like Michael Keaton's character. Beetlejuice is kind of like, he's kind of vulgar, I think.
Very.
Yeah.
It went over our heads when we were kids. When I was a kid, I don't think I even knew what the movie was about.
Yeah.
I don't know if I knew what it was about. It was kind of scary is the only reason I kind of liked it. It had like the part where they do their heads when they're trying to scare off the new people there. It always scared me when I was little. When she like put her eyeballs on her tongue.
Yep.
Hold on. Stefan asked another question. He said, why isn't there a big video game about Stranger Things yet? I mean, it holds so much potential for a role-playing game, an action game, or something like that. I actually think that there is a Stranger Things game on.
I know there's like mobile games, but I don't know there's like I don't think there's like an
is.
Xbox game or anything.
They're making a VR game.
They are.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like for Oculus, cool. Like
yeah, I think you're gonna be playing as Vecna in it.
Ooh.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
That could be fun. Yeah.
I want to say that there was another one too, because my friend's kids played it, and I think they have an Xbox. I mean, it was a few years ago, but or maybe it's like one of the mobile games, and they could play it on there too. I don't know.
I know there were a ton. Well, not a ton, but more than one mobile game. I know
the mobile games for I think it's season 1 and season 2 are really fun on your phone. I don't like the match 3 ones.
Okay.
I
played one of those. Yeah.
Isn't there like a Dead by Daylight thing or something where they license Stranger Things
Yeah, you could put skins on your characters in Dead by Daylight, I think, or something, and then play it that way. Caden, Holly said, when is that game coming? Do you know?
Oh, he will.
He said, hold up.
I'll send the trailer link in the chat for it.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Cool. All right. While you're doing that, do you want to move on to the next email?
Sure.
Okay. Our next email is from Amanda, and she says, my 12-year-old daughter Lexi and I both love Stranger Things and your podcast. She finished the series Wednesday on Netflix, and I finally thought she was old enough for Stranger Things. We finished about 2 weeks ago, and then we crushed your podcast. We are definitely behind on timing, but wanted to tell you we love the pod. I really wouldn't change anything about the format of your show. I love every segment and look forward to each one. It's always my go-to in the car and when I exercise. My favorite characters are Hopper and Dusty Bun. I probably would have picked them for every line in MVP. My daughter loves Max and Will. I'd love to see you do this exact podcast for The Last of Us on HBO. I think there are a lot of similarities in show style and plot. I haven't let my 12-year-old watch quite yet because of the language. She loves acting and does theater, so the scary stuff isn't a huge issue for me. I'd love to know if either of you have watched the show yet, and if so, if any of your kids watch it. I am obsessed with Pedro Pascal. Me too, girlfriend. And loved him ever since he was on Game of Thrones. Another show I'd love to hear you two dissect. If you ever complete a podcast about The Last of Us or Game of Thrones, I'd totally binge listen. Amanda and Lexi in Massachusetts. I watched both of them.
I have not seen Last of Us.
You haven't?
No.
I feel like you would like it.
I probably would. Yeah.
It's not too scary. It's based on the video game.
Okay, mommy. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. Holly, I think you can handle it. I think it's based on a video game. It is. And
it is.
Okay. I didn't like it that much. Like, I thought it was okay. I thought it got kind of slow. Like, it was each episode was like very focused on one particular backstory of a character or like something that happened to that character. So I didn't love it, but tons of people did. And Game of Thrones, I loved until the last 2 seasons. And then it was like the angriest I've ever been.
Yeah. The last season for me, because it was so, because I would watch it. My neighbor and I would watch it. And then Holly and I watched it with our friends. And when my neighbor and I were watching it, she's like a Game of Thrones scholar. So she was always like, this is this and this is this. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. But I just remember thinking at the time it would take them like 2 episodes to walk 50 feet.
And then the last episode, and they were like
the last season, like the whole world changes and everything. It's just yeah.
They would like travel a continent in a day.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it was like, oh, look at these frozen chains that we found in the middle of nowhere. These will be perfect for exactly what we need right now. Like it was so. And then the whole ending with the dragons, and that's all I wanted were the dragons to live. Sorry if nobody's watched it. You've had several years, so but that's all I wanted was the dragons, and they did not meet the fate that I wanted. But I did like Pedro Pascal in it.
Okay, so Caden sent the trailer, so I'm going to see if I can get this to play. It's been doing okay here, so let's see if this works. So.
It's strange that you would play as Vecna.
Yeah, that is kind of weird, right?
I mean, I like it, but that's kind of. I don't know if I could do scary virtual reality though. Like, I don't like I can't do like haunted houses and stuff, and I don't know if I would like the idea of like feeling like people were jumping out at me.
Right. I did.
I would like playing the villain.
You don't think you'd like it, or you do?
I don't think I like playing the villain. I don't like to be the bad guy. I don't want a job where I don't want like the game to tell me to go out and kill some innocent people. You know what I mean?
Right. That's a good point.
Jackson has a game on his VR thing, and it's a Star Wars one, and you're buddy with Darth Vader, and I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's the same kind of idea. You're kind of on the dark side, and but it's weird because like Darth Vader's like standing right in front of you, and you could like shake his hand pretty much. It's just it messes with your head a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Okay. All right. Are we ready for the next email?
Yeah, I think we got two
It's a
left. I think.
question.
Yep.
And it's from Audrey. She says, my question is, who is your favorite background Who is your favorite background character in Stranger Things? Mine is Benny. For Harriet, I love Taylor Swift too. My favorite album is Lover. I was so excited to see Speak Now, Taylor's version, drop. Love all around, Audrey. And Lover is also my second. It's my second favorite album.
I do like.
Well,
Lover.
actually,
it's you're picking favorites now. You're gonna because I like Folklore. I like Evermore.
I only like Betty on Folklore. That's the only one.
I like Folklore a lot. And then the Long Pond sessions were just so good. But yeah.
Holly said to Kaden, I'm gonna try that game for sure. I wonder if Jamie's voice is in it. Thanks, Kaden. I actually wonder that too. They often do get the actors to do the voice acting for the video games.
Yeah. Okay, so favorite background character?
I do love Benny.
I do, yeah.
I was sad when Benny died.
I don't know how background we're considering, background, or we consider.
I don't know. I love to hate Tommy and Carol though.
Yeah.
I love they're such good bullies. Like I hate them. Like I wanted them to get eaten by the Demogorgon.
I like Callahan every once in a while. He's kind of fun.
Oh wait. Their science teacher. I love
Mr.
him.
Clark. Oh, gotta love Mr. Clark.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know if he's I don't know if you'd consider him a background character.
Yeah.
But
I thought that I don't even know her name. She's only in season 1 and she gets her eyes exploded at the end. She's
Executioner Connie Frazier.
Oh,
she was a very effective villain.
She was.
It was great,
especially talking to Mr. Clark and just I mind tricked him.
We were all very scared for Mr. Clark when she showed up at his house.
Yeah, I remember.
Watch a show about her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember doing that episode. We talked about that. I'm like, oh shit, she just showed up on the front door. I'm like, oh god,
you're in trouble, Mr. Clark. People are saying that maybe what's her name? That's gonna be in the new season, Terminator.
Linda
Hamilton.
Linda Hamilton. Yeah.
Linda Hamilton. They're saying that she might be the new executioner, Connie Frazier, like the new type of person.
That could be. Yeah.
Collin and I talked about that we thought she was going to be a new bad character.
I can see her being a villain.
Like a new Brenner type.
Yeah, she always kind of plays that. I mean, she was in Chuck. She was and she kind of did that same kind of role, kind of like the, bad scientist kind of business executive kind of person. Yeah.
Because without Brenner, they're gonna have to bring back in some sort of military figure that comes into Hawkins and is probably, my guess is gonna try to keep it all under wraps or whatever, or try to spin it a certain way. I could see her being that type.
Yeah.
She has that role in Resident Alien too.
All right.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
I don't think I watched it far enough to get to her. Mike loves that show.
It's a good show.
He
It should
loves
be
it,
coming
yeah.
back soon, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cute.
Okay, last email is from Penny. Hey, Collin and Whitney, I totally freaked out when you read both my emails. Thanks so much. I just listened to the Duos episode, and I'm glad my top spot was similar to the groups. I really don't know what the new episode is going to be about, so I'll just talk about my theories. First of all, I'm pretty sure Max isn't dead. If the Duffers had planned for that to happen, they wouldn't have kept the suspense going, and it's just not worth it, though I do think she'll be somewhat brain dead, and this may help with fighting Vecna. That's a good point. Also, I know it's kind of a stretch, but I'd love to see Eddie back for season 5 as a level 5 dungeon master in D&D. I can tell you that there's this whole plot point with this dude named Kaz the Vampire. He basically is Vecna's right-hand man that turns on him to help the party. This also makes sense because of the bats and the vampires that link up. It may be a bit outlandish for the Duffers, but I guess we'll see. I have a feeling that Eleven's going to die and is, in a way, going to kill herself. And by this, I mean she's going to fight all the monsters in the Upside Down and use her powers to the best of her abilities, maybe with help from the likes of Callie. But then she'll die because she strained herself too much. Also, boy, there's a lot of theories we have to digest here. Also, I'm pretty certain that Will doesn't have powers because 11 only really has powers because of Brenner, who, as far as we know, Will hasn't come in contact with. Have a good summer and keep up the good work, Penny.
I can tell you Eddie is not coming back.
Yes, we know that.
For sure. And it's not, I know everybody thought he was going to be Kaz the Vampire. He's not. It's never going to happen. I want this theory to die. I want to put it to bed and never hear it again.
Just like Eddie.
Eddie is not, yes. I want that theory to be as dead as Eddie. So I don't think that's ever going to happen.
I don't mind the 11 straining herself and doing so much that she
I
does.
do. I'm telling you, if 11 dies, it will ruin the whole show for me and I'll never watch it again. I'm telling you.
Somebody is going to die. We just don't know who.
If it's any of the main kids, I'm going to hate it. Like, I don't care that it's, unlikely or, that's not, realistic. We're fighting monsters. It doesn't have to be realistic. Everyone can live for all I care. But
based on past history, I think we can be pretty sure that Linda Hamilton's going to die because the big names that they bring in, the Sean Astons, they only last a season. So
you're doomed. And if her name starts with a B, then definitely doomed.
True. Yeah. She's
going to play. Shocked if the Duffer Brothers have they done anything that cheap? Right. The reason why the show is so good is they usually surprise you. Even I remember in the season 4, I was thinking of all these things and it was nothing like
no. Oh, I know.
And
yeah.
No, I don't think they would ever do something like bring back Eddie just to appease fans. And
no.
I especially don't think that they would do something as, I don't know, as I don't want to say contrived, but like so predictable as 11 has to sacrifice herself and everything's just fine. I don't think they'll come even close to doing something like that.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm rooting for it, but I could.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I feel like that they've said in an interview, I know they have, that this is not Game of Thrones and it's too heavy to kill off the main characters because then it might change because this is the last season, but then the other characters have to deal with that grief and that kind of brings everyone down like as we're watching.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I don't know. Obviously, they could do that, but I will drive to North Carolina. And
I haven't finalized any theories per se, but I could see either Joyce or Hopper finally dying.
I don't see Hopper dying just because they already killed him once, and I can't imagine that they do it again. But who's to say? Like, obviously, there's no way to know for sure until we watch it.
Oh, yeah, no, it was so funny because actually, I'm being Stefan by proxy here. He says, I think Max is coming back as a physically disabled person, but plays an important role in defeating Vecna, and that would be a positive message. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think
they're going to use. I think 11 is going to somehow visit Max in her like coma world or whatever.
Yep. Harry says, if Joyce dies, we get Copper, Karen, and Hopper together.
So long, Ted.
Yeah, she'll leave Ted.
Poor Ted.
Joyce and Karen can come together.
I could see Karen dying, Holly. I could see Karen dying, which would be terrible for the kids to be stuck with Ted. But
yeah.
And I don't see I don't know. I don't see either Jonathan or Will dying because then Joyce has kind of already done that in season 1, like where she thought she'd lost Will.
Yeah.
The most likely one, honestly, is probably 11, and I will hate it.
Right.
So. I think the most likely of the main characters to potentially get killed off are either Steve or Jonathan because of mostly with Steve because of the love triangle, and it would be this, Tale of Two Cities ending or something like that. And then maybe that's a little cheap too, and then when I would think about if someone was actually going to sacrifice themselves at the end, I was always thinking that possibly Jonathan would do it for Will in some way, shape, or form. That was the only. And I don't think any of this is necessarily likely. That was just thinking.
I mean, going into season 4, would you have thought A, Brenner is back, and B, Brenner would die? I remember we did that whole episode, Whitney, with Coffee, whoever, and we threw out like a dozen theories, and none of them were even remotely close to anything that happened. I mean, nothing.
No.
So, I mean, you can kind of speculate all you want.
Yeah, like everyone was like saying like, oh, time travel is going to play a huge thing in season 4. There were so many references to Back to the Future, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, it's just because Back to the Future kind of influenced a lot of Stranger Things.
I remember like halfway through season 4 when we were talking about the guidance counselor had the clock and the necklace.
Oh, and the key. Yes.
Yeah, and the key. Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah. And the fact that we thought that Owen's kid, or remember they went and got the box.
Oh, and it was Peter. Peter was the name of the kid. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, Peter,
what's his name? Peter Ballard. Yeah.
Peter Ballard. And then it turned out it was nothing.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Stefan has a good question that we can kind of wrap up with. He says, is there something else that could ruin the whole show for you?
If any of the kids die, honestly, I'll hate it. Like, I really, like, it's just, I've grown so attached to them and I love them so much. And it's just not that kind of show for me. And to me, it kind of embodies like everything from the 80s and like very Spielberg-esque. And Spielberg didn't really do that. So to me, it's not cheap if everyone lives. It's just like, oh, I just love a happy ending.
I think, I mean, I don't need everything to be tied up with a pretty little bow, but I really don't want there to be like a cheap cliffhanger that's going to lead into the spin-off or the anime thing or a book or, you know, I want it to be its own little capsule and you can watch it anytime and have it be done. However it ends, I want it to end and have an ending and not with the, you know, if it had ended with season 4 and they're looking off into the distance at the, you know, the wreckage of Hawkins and, you know, the red sky and everything, I would have hated that if that was the end of the whole show. So as long as they have some kind of resolution, I think that would be good.
Yeah, I don't like an ambiguous ending.
Yeah. And Holly says if Joyce dies, I would hate it. She's my fave.
Yeah, she's a lot of people's faves. And I would hate it too. But then, I mean, I don't think they could because
then they'd be stuck with Lonnie.
or Hopper would adopt them.
Right.
Which is still kind of corny.
Yeah.
So all right.
I think that we're going to get Collin for season 5. This is my last thing to contribute. I think Collin is required for the ending of the show because I think that they need to wrap up Terry Ives' story somehow. And she is practically comatose and living a memory loop of literally her worst moments of her life. I think 11's going to get 8, bring her to her mom's house, and she's going to use her powers to put images into Terry Ives' mind of her daughter grown up, her daughter happy. You know what I mean? So I think Collin is coming back at least for that.
I wouldn't hate that. It would make me like the bottleneck episode a lot more if she did serve a purpose, because right now that episode just seems real dumb.
And like random. You could watch the whole series and not watch that episode. And
it wouldn't change anything.
Yeah. I mean, other than she went away, got her powers and came back. But
you'd be like, when did 11 become goth?
Yeah.
In between these 2 episodes. But that's it.
Yep.
I really like that point about Terry Ives playing a big role. That much. I think he's onto something.
Oh, that's good, Stefan. Or Collin creates an illusion that distracts Vecna in a deciding moment. That's good too.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I will be shocked if they bring her back though. But I don't know. There's no way to tell what they're gonna do. But I would be shocked if we saw Collin again.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah. So
in 2028.
Oh God. The deep dark void. Yeah, quit jinxing us.
I know, right? Anybody else have anything they want to say? Well, otherwise we'll kind of wrap it up. So floor is yours.
Earlier, you guys were all talking about how Will doesn't have powers. I agree. I think you could kind of compare him to Harry Potter with Voldemort, but Vecna is his Voldemort. He has a link to him, but it doesn't necessarily give him powers in a way.
That's very good. I like that actually.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, because he did become. He could sense when. I mean, God forbid he tell anybody when he sensed Vecna was near for a good, 30 minutes. But
watch the back of his neck and see if the hair.
Yeah. I mean, he needed somebody with him just to be like, hey, why do you have goosebumps? Like every single time. Are you cold or is Vecna close?
So on predictions, does the significance of the whole Vecna's grandfather clock come into play at all in season 5?
I think it's going to. I think it's going to play into the reason that the whole Upside Down is stuck on on the day that Will went missing.
November
I think that's going to be because it's been a while since I've watched season 4, but Vecna, or what's his name? It's Vecna, number 1, whatever.
1. Yep.
Yeah.
Harry or Creel.
Well, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Henry.
No, Henry's the dad, right?
Henry is Vecna.
Henry's
that's right.
Vecna. Yeah.
Victor is the dad.
Yeah.
Well, Henry does make the clock go backwards. So it's like it's gonna play, like he has some ability to mess with time, I think.
Yeah, Stefan says that the clock is like his Horcrux, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That could be good.
Yeah.
Literally anything could happen, and I would just be like, cool.
I mean,
All
seriously,
right.
anything. I mean, literally anything could happen.
Yes. Like I can't, like after I was devastated by all my theories for season 4, and I thought that I had some good ones. I was like, yes, I am definitely onto something. Now I did get the Dimabats, but I did not get my Dima spiders.
No, you did not. That's true.
But so there's no way to tell.
All right. Anybody
All
else? Anything?
Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Doug,
Yes.
Beezy, Ryan, Harry, Holly, Caden, Stefan. Really appreciate
I
coming
love
along.
seeing everyone's faces.
And obviously, everybody, we're trying to remember next time you email us, or if you want to just send us email now, let us know your time zone, and we'll see what we can figure out so we get more people on in the next one. So,
yes. All right.
Okay.
All right. Bye. Bye, guys.
bye.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you again, obviously, everybody, for joining us. That was a lot of fun. We hope to do it again soon, and we'll see how it turns out, but it felt pretty good in the moment. So
It did.
our next episode will be on September 14th, and we're going to get back to our character deep dive series. And no, Stefan, we're not talking about Will quite yet. We will get there eventually. We are going to be talking about Nancy Wheeler. So if you have thoughts on Nancy Wheeler, favorite moments, unfavorite moments, character arcs, all kinds of fun things, trivia, whatever you want to talk about, get us your emails by September 10th, Sunday. And then the episode will air on Thursday, September 14th. And we will see you then for that.
Yes. As always, you can find us on social media. We are at Scoops Ahoy Pod on Twitter and Facebook. And we also have a Discord server where you can also talk to some of the lovely faces and voices you heard today on today's episode. And you can find the link to that. It's pinned on our Twitter page. And is it pinned on our Facebook page?
Yes.
Yes. So both. As always, you can email us at scoopsahoypod@gmail.com to tell us your thoughts on next week, or next episode will be Nancy Wheeler and basically anything Stranger Things, because we love hearing from you guys. So that does it for this week. I want to thank everybody for listening, and I hope you tune in next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye. Stranger Things audio clips and official score are the property of Netflix. Incidental music by Blue Mount Score from Pixabay.